Good morning, Stitch Roadies. Well, welcome to an entirely different type of episode. It probably will give you a little bit of a glimpse into how the chipmunks in my brain work. If you're new to this channel, it is a channel predominantly about cross stitch, but there are other things that happen here, and as you get to know each other, you may make connections with someone in your area. I encourage you to read the comments, to answer people's questions if they have them, to make those connections with each other if you are an isolated stitcher somewhere. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It kind of pushes out that algorithm, and all Flosstubers just need a thumbs up. Sometimes we just need that encouragement to keep going. I don't necessarily, because I would chatter to one person. So it you know, what can I say? Today is a totally different kind of floss tube, and I don't want to scare you away if you're new. If you've been here a while, you'll get it. You'll have some understanding. You might be inspired. You might be fearful. You might be calling a helpline for me or for yourself, but we shall go through this together, shan't we? Now, let me just say, you need to go to the restroom. I'm not your mother, but you need to go to the restroom and get something to drink and maybe a snack to keep your blood sugar level, because this will be a little longer one than normal. When people do WIP parades, do you ever think about this? Someone who's a monogamous stitcher never does a WIP parade. Yeah, no. WIP parades are a vehicle in which to recognize where you're at with your projects, to identify projects you might have forgotten about, to rebond with projects, or to just cause this wake-up moment. That's what WIP parades are about. Yeah, someone who's basically a monogamous stitcher will never have a WIP parade, and I envy them. I envy them. And why would I do a WIP parade today? Most Flosstubers or cross stitchers will take a moment at the beginning of the year and do WIP parade so that they can start the year off with a full acknowledgement of what exists in their stitchy life. Why am I doing it today? Because I'm going to the attic. The attic. Not an attic. Well, you know, it could be either way. It could be the attic, like up in the top of your house, or it could be the addict, like you're addicted to cross stitch. So wherever you put the enunciation, it works for that shop in Mesa, Arizona. But I am heading there for the Bristol workshop. It was a spur of the moment, I gotta see what's going on, encouraged by my friend Janine, who owns Acorns Threads, who is the proprietress of Acorns Threads. And what I know, now I'm going to get kind of wordy, that's why I told you to go to the restroom. I warned you to go to the restroom. What I know about that shop, having been there before with my girlfriend down in Mesa, is that it's where samplers rule. That's their motto, samplers rule. I'm not a big sampler stitcher. I do love a sampler. I do love looking at samplers. I've never done a reproduction sampler. I like samplers that are like the very first, one of the earlier samplers that I did was actually a pattern that I saw there in Mesa, and it was a needlework press, and I fell in love with it right away and finished it, and it's hanging on my wall. I love those original design samplers, but having watched like Brenda and the Serial Starter, Laura, and you know, Kindred Stitcher and Lori Textilist and Kitten Stitcher, I think, and yeah, I mean, the list goes on, and their love of samplers. I kind of want to know, you tend to stay in the cross-stitch niche where the things that you love, but there's like a variety of different worlds, just like there is in any, like in any city, there's different neighborhoods, and people are drawn to go out to eat to this restaurant or that restaurant based on their likes. It's the same with cross stitch, but I kind of don't want to miss out on something, because I like my friend Cheryl of Stitching with the Sisterly, you know, we can suffer from FOMO very easily. And she's suffering right now because I'm going to the Bristol workshop. I am not a nice person. I could have talked about anything else but that, but it's true. It's kind of fun to be the person who people FOMO about because you're going someplace. No. Okay. I'm not starting this video over. I'm going to start over again as a nice person. I'm a nice person. And I am not taking the least bit of pleasure in the fact that I get to go to the attic. No, I wish you all could go. Yeah, but I do. I get to go this week. So that is why I am doing a WIP parade. It's because I need a moment to acknowledge what I have going, so when I walk into the shop, I'm walking on steel-toed boots, and I can make logical, balanced, educated decisions. Yes. But I have to tell you, I'm a little bit wordy here. I'm not really fond of WIP parades, you know. They're great to stitch by, so get your stitching out. I'm not going to be able to go through my WIPs all at once. So what I'm going to do today is pull out 5 or 6 WIPs and show them to you and where I'm at and my thoughts about them, and then talk about something else in between, because otherwise not only are you going to get bored, but I'm going to get bored, and I get easily bored. So here we go. Let's start. I have the whole pile of my project bags here. The 2 that I do not have, or the 3 WIPs that are not in this pile but are in the other room, are the owl that I'm working on, the Janine McGowan 2022 Pacific Northwest Stitch Summit exclusive about the woods, and my youngest grandson's Christmas stocking. Those 3 WIPs I forgot to bring in here, and I'm not going to stop to go get them. So know that those 3 WIPs are over there. Those are my designated stitches, and by designated stitches, dedicated stitches, I stitch on one of those every evening, which until I get it done, and then those are the 3 that I have to get done this year. So that's why they're in the other room. Okay, let's get started. I think I got this bag. You know, the thing is, I wish that bags were labeled. Most of them are not. But I think I got this from Kindred Stitcher. I don't know. But inside this bag is all of the 12 Berries of Christmas by Erica Michaels. Yeah, I was going to do all 12 berries. Okay, berry number 1. What a joke. Berry number 1. So there, I want a whole bowl of those berries. But really? And in this project bag, lovely project bag, some of you who I have bought or gifted me project bags will recognize your project bag. In this project bag is Heartstring Samplery Beth Twist. She really is one of my go-tos. I love so much of what she designs. And this was A Time to Be Alive. It is an absolutely lovely stitch. So, where am I? It's a lovely stitch, and I couldn't wait to start it. Yes. That one's going to get done, because I really love it. Because I used to be a runner. I know I don't look like a runner right now, but I look like someone who used to be a runner. And when I did the Portland Marathon, I ran across the St. John's Bridge, and it is a beautiful bridge. And I believe, if I'm getting my facts right, it was designed by the same gentleman who did the Golden Gate Bridge. And this was a kit. Called the St. John's Bridge. And yeah, we have exactly that. And this is on an Ada. Oh, it's, you know, I'm just kind of realizing that there's a whole lot of fun needle minders stuck in this. Crafty by Corey Stitches. She is a fabulous bag maker, and she's the one that made the MySpace pad that I take to every stitch day at Acorns and Threads. But look at this bag. I mean, and it's got the scissor charm on it. I love it when you bag makers actually put a label on it so I can remember where I got it, because my memory, I understand that they've done studies, and the human brain can hold 3 pieces of information at any one time. And I have the name of my husband and my 2 sons. So if I have to remember something else, one of them's getting kicked to the curb. The tail. The tail is what got me. It's quite fascinating what in a design will grab you. But I have to admit, it was the tail. Now, if any of you are breaking out in a sweat, and in your time zone it's 4 o'clock, you might want to get a happy hour drink. Yeah, it might make you feel better. Now this, look at this bag. I mean, it's got a huge window. Oh. And this project was one that I was kind of doing with Lost and Floss. Yeah, we were kind of, I don't know where she's at, but Prairie Schooler, a Prairie Year. Let's see. Oh, well, that's kind of interesting. It's in this, on this. Oh, this is where I bought that big piece of fabric. And here I am making the, I've got 6 of them done. So I have 6 more to go. You know, I really should try to do that this year. Yeah. I just love these. They are so cute. Yeah, that might have to get moved up in the queue, because that could be conceivably, I mean, they're not big. They're not big, so. So you know how, like on Facebook, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, or if you're on Amazon, which I am sure everybody is on Amazon, they send ads up. Well, I'm getting cross-stitch ads. And on Amazon, I saw an ad for a cross-stitch book that was so intriguing to me that I did a deep dive on it. And then I did an order, and it delivered in a day. Yeah, but wait till you see this. Now, I had never heard of this person, this author, this designer, Lindsay Swearingen. And this is 25 spooky projects to haunt your halls. I don't know. That just sounded kind of funny to me. And this book is called Creepy Cross Stitch. I just love it because you could take any part of this and create even smaller smalls. But this is what the book looks like. And the book is, I mean, it's just a fun book to have on your shelf. And here's some of just a fraction of the projects, because there's 25 spooky projects in here. And so I found this on Amazon. That was so cool. Now, I started this project with Marion the Librarian. Yes. And it is Wizard of Oz by Al Forrest. I just love this fabric. Oh my gosh, this is such great fabric. Okay, and this is where I'm at. Not bad. It's been my first and only so far Al Forrest. And I have, this is where I first did 1/1 on the face. The face was 1/1. And yeah, I'm going to finish that. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing with that. So have you been, are you stressed? Are you stressed for me? Okay. Simone Smalls. Oh, there's a pack of needles in here. Simone Smalls and Simone's Smalls. This is one of the projects in the book. And like I told you before, I have a board now, a dry erase board that has listed all of my WIPs, and then all of my finishes, and then a list of FFOs. So it kind of gives me a you know. This is such a cute bag. This feels like it could have been an earlier Corey bag, but there's no label on it. And this is I love this chart. This is Daisy Joe Designs, which she has a Gumroad site, and she's just such a clever designer. So this was, it's absolutely, and I love a silhouette. I just love a silhouette. But there is a whole lot of black. Yeah. I mean, solid stitching. That's what you get with a silhouette. But I love this project enough to keep on going. And she's the designer of the project that Audrey Stitchy Witch 42 is doing on Don't Feed the Trolls. I also have that chart, but I have not started it yet, so it's not considered a WIP. But that chart, the way that Audrey is stitching it is genius. So you really need to go take a look-see. I would have never thought of that, but as Audrey explained it to me, she doesn't like the stripey that occurs, like when you have a variegated thread, and she's using a variegated fancy floss, and you get this kind of stripey look to it, and she didn't want her trolls to look stripey. So she shows how she stitches to give it a swirly. You really have to take a look-see. It's it really is genius. And that's part of what I love about the Flosstube community, is you learn from each other. And if you're not able to, like, go to a shop, you don't have an LNS, or like the girls up in Washington, you know, the Lady Robiness and SamBrie Stitches and all those stitchers up there, they like meet at a Barnes & Noble like once a month. I mean, you can make your own stitchy group, and I know it is scary to put yourself out, but there's something that comes that's truly a gift when you can sit down with another stitcher and just shoot the bull. I mean, you can just cross-stitch and share. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Away We Ride. Love this one. Where am I on this? And you know, I'm not spending the time to tell you what fabric I'm doing it on. I mean, that would take, that would just take forever. Away We Ride. I think this is the one that Robin and I were on an airplane, and and we were stitching it with my girlfriend Lori and Sandy, and Robin spilled coffee on hers. But then she did something really fun with it. Yeah. Oh, I think this is a bag I made. Yeah, Harry Potter bag for a Harry Potter project. I wonder if the Frozen Crafter, Megan, got hers done, because we were doing this together. I'm not a good Sal person. I'm just going to tell you up front. But I love me a good Harry Potter stitch. And this would have been my first full coverage. Oh, look, I got a blue line. The thing is, though, is I love them all. And look at, I found this charm little head wig. And then my Marauders map. So I did do, besides the creepy haunted cross-stitch, the creepy cross-stitch book, I did order this wonderful, in our backyard, we have like nature at its best. Not only is there a lot of sharing going on, there's also, you know, it's like a kindergarten classroom back there. There's some fighting and tugging over toys, predominantly birdseed. And it's interesting to watch the ravens. Now, a group of ravens is called an unkindness or a conspiracy, because they are kind of like gangs, and when we sit out there, which we do every day, they squawk to no end, because we have trees that are 40-foot tall, and they'll be at the very top, and they'll be squawking away because they just want us to get the heck inside so they can come down and ravage all the birdseed from the little birds. And they work together. They are the most intelligent bird, and we just have tons of them around here. And you watch them hopping down the street, because they'll hop on garbage day. Because if some household puts their garbage in the can, but they have too much that can hold the can, and so the lid is a little bit up, a couple of these ravens will work together and rip apart the bag, and you'll have garbage all over the street. The garbage man's not happy. Now, the difference you can tell between a crow and a raven is the size and the beak shape. So, although this chart is called Byron the Blackbird, it looks exactly like a raven that hangs out in my backyard. And this is by the Artsy Housewife. And so you'll see the web page, and you can check out the other things that she has, because there are some fabulous designs, but I just love this one. So I downloaded the PDF. And anytime you see anything, you can stop the video, or if you just like need a break from me, stop the video and write that stuff down. Oh my gosh. Okay, I have to show you. I finished. Look at that. I am so pleased with this. And this is done on 30 count, which I had never stitched on. So my next task is to finish it on the top of this shaker box, and that won't be happening until later this month. But I was real happy with that finish. Kind of makes, it kind of makes me feel good while I'm doing this WIP Parade. Okay, the next one is, it can't be done for this year, but I can maybe spend July stitching on it, because here in the United States we celebrate the 4th of July, and that is Teresa Kogut's Land That I Love. And I definitely need to get this done before January, when I do my Patreon adjustments, and I'm so far planning on doing her Patreon in January, and I just know it's going to create a whole longer wish list. But this is where I am at on that. So I got the border all the way around, and then I've got that upper alphabet. I just love this one. I love the fabric it's on. Oh, there's another cute needle minder. And it is in this cute 4th of July bag, and I am thinking, oh yes, this is by Denise of Goose, because she didn't put the label on her bag, but she did put the label on this thing, which I love these. These are the thread keep things. I love those. So this bag was by Goose. I hope you're taking notes for all this, because I probably won't remember to link everybody. That I really would like to. I'm starting to sound redundant. I didn't even know I knew that word. Redundant. But I really want to get this one done, because I have the box. And that would be a fun one to get done. Oh my gosh, the battery is going down. This is so long. And this is where I'm at. Yeah, we may have to charge the battery up for this one. What is this? Oh, this was a pattern. Hello from Liz Matthews. I even have that frame for this. Where are we on this? That's where we are. It's like, you know, if squirrels were cross stitchers, yeah, I would get, you know, we could be in the same tribe if a squirrel was a cross stitcher. Now this looks like a bag. Oh, oh yeah, this one. I love this one. This is another Beth Twist. Scary Sampler. Oh, there's another pack of needles. Scary Sampler by Beth Twist. I love the perspective of that house. And I have all the floss stored in one of Audrey Stitchy Witch 42's thread keeps, her little books, which I love, which she sells on her Stitchy Witch D-Stash. And there I am. Wow. Wow. I'm glad that this floss tube can make you feel better about yourself. Yeah. I do love my husband, but not enough to have put, obviously, his cross stitch at the top of my pile. I feel so guilty. Not really. He doesn't even know I'm doing it. And I think this is the thing that stopped me, is this grass down at the bottom, it's a lot of confetti stitching. And I got so blown away when one of you in a comment, when I showed this, said, rather than doing all that confetti stitching, why don't you use some variegated floss? Why couldn't I have heard that before I started it? Yeah. I mean, I could start it over, but I don't want to. Yeah. Oh, this is... I am. I'm starting to sound boring. I'm saying the same things over and over again. I love this Bent Creek begin. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. That is awesome. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think when I go to put these away, I'm going to, because they're stored on a shelving unit, I think I'm going to separate them between the ones that I really want to make headway this year and maybe get done, as opposed to ones that can, you know, spend some time languishing, not languishing, but marinating. Yeah, marinating. For my friend, Blackbird Designs, and this is the one on the back there. And here I am. Yeah. And this is in this fabulous bag. Is there no tag to this bag? I know this is a fabulous bag. It's my Mickey Mouse bag. This is from Trudy, but I just have to show you this bag because it's so pretty. Yeah. Home for the holidays. Hard to even be thinking about the holidays yet. We need to fully enjoy the summer. And this one that I'm doing, oh, this book, oh my gosh, this book is so amazing. Blessings Be Thine. Oh, this has to move up. I like having the shelving unit with my project bags that have projects ongoing in them, because when I made this bag, because it keeps me, it's kind of like having your bathroom scale right when you walk in the bathroom. It's like, you're too fat, you know. And by having the cross stitch bags all sitting on a shelf right there, it says, you need to stitch me. Yeah. So I like that. I liked what I did there by putting together that shelf. Oh, I did bring this one in. This was one of my dedicated stitches. I just love this one. I mean, and you can get this at Acorns Threads. It wasn't exclusive, but I think it's available now. I mean, look, those trees were so fun to stitch. That tree was like, oh, the branches. I had the best time with that. And this is I know this is some kind of special bag, but there's no name on, oh yeah, there is. What am I talking about? This is a Stitch Folk bag. Look at, how did I get one of those? I have no clue. I guess I'm blessed. Well, Cassie Jo, who's was doing floss tubes and is on Instagram, is an amazing stitcher. Did this, and several other people have done it, and I just loved it. Quaker Christmas 2. And here we are. Oh, shoot. Yeah. Do you see, I am sorry that I am using you in this opportunity to prepare myself to kind of make myself really think about when I walk through the doors of the attic to not go hog wild. My friend Marcia, who lives in Washington, I totally forgot about this, but she sent me a chart. I totally get her. I totally get her. She sometimes will end up with 2 of the same chart because she got excited, she bought one, and then she forgot, and then she bought the second one. And so we were at Jeanette Douglas's class at Acorns Threads, and I saw this stitch. I can't even remember the whole scenario around it, but I fell in love with it. And it turned out, I just love Marcia because she buys 2 of everything, not infrequently. Keep that between us. And so she sent me, because I couldn't get it, I couldn't find it. I wanted it right then and I couldn't find it. And so she sent me her second copy. And I love this square. You wouldn't have to do all 4. You could do individually. And this is who that is by. Yeah. Gotta get that on my list. So the Scarlet House, A Perfect World. I started this because Cheryl started it. And it's the first time, because Janine kind of put the fear of the stitching god in us, that we both started in the center, because the fabric we had maybe was just barely big enough, and we know how that's a problem for me. And so we started that in the center, my first center start. And here's this beautiful bag here. Bags by Wendy. Oh yes. I decided I needed to do this on GoodNotes. So I am learning, in the learning curve of how to use GoodNotes. Because this is where I'm at, and it's an amazing, amazing project that I want to finish, and I love the way it looks. Do we need to take a break? So G and I went to antique shopping in Aurora, and I found some fun things. I like to buy little cups or little ceramic things to turn into pin cushions, and so I'm always on the hunt for that. And I found these 3. Isn't that adorable? Yeah. Look at this one. It's a little basket, a little ceramic. So I'll be turning these into little pin cushions. Look at cup and saucer. And the way I do this is with these little items, I will felt. I will start with a small wool ball, and then I have roving, and I will use a felting stabber thing. That's a technical term. You know, we don't use that in the OR, but the stabber thing. And keep making the ball so that it is the right size for whatever project I have. And then I don't know if I ever shared this, but I collect these little boxes, and here's one. You know, they always have a little lid. They're quite funny because they usually have funny things either inside or around the bottom. So there's a lion sleeping in between. And these are Harmony Kingdom, and I collect these little boxes. And I've been collecting them for a while, but I have not for about 4 years been able to find any until we went antiquing, and I found one. In this huge antique store, there was one, but I absolutely loved it. So here's my latest edition. It's bulldogs. And so the heads come off. See, this one I've never seen before because, you know, there's 2 heads. And then, oh, let me just take this. There's all kinds of funny things written around the side, and it looks like there's mail, like the dog's got mail, and there's a shoe, and then there's this guy who G tells me is Winston Churchill because he was the bulldog, and I've never seen one where it had 2 heads and both of them the lids came off. So I think he is absolutely adorable. So I was ecstatic to have found that. So now I'm adding him to my collection. And I found this, and I knew that I was going to be getting this for someone in particular. And it was a from 1913, where they just printed and hung little sayings. And I just thought this was so sweet. And you can stop the video and actually read that because it's kind of funny. It is funny. Funny how I got to thinking of you just now. Thought of you, yes. I was seeing you too somehow. Odd how all overish such thoughts can be somehow. Wonder if you wasn't thinking of me just now. Yeah, isn't that sweet? And then the last thing I found, I've never seen before. It is Floss, and they had several boxes of this. And it's in the original box, and I looked through all the boxes and decided, oh, you know, 310. We know what 310 is. 6-strand floss philo twist, boil proof, nuns registered. So here is the box. There were several boxes in all these different colors. And when you open the box, there's this label, and then there's the floss with the original tags. 310. Color never runs or fades. Better cannot be made. Most brilliant and lasting luster, style and size for every purpose. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. Okay, gotta get going. Next one is SamBrie Stitches, the Adventure Sampler. Love this. Going to have this hanging in my van when I get it done. And you can get this at Acorns Threads. And that's where I'm at. Yep, it's... Oh boy. This one is from Backwater Shop, and it is the Tiny Modernist Halloween Ouija. I really love this one. It would be great if I could get this one done for Halloween this year, but I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I have a lot done, but with the designated stitches keeping my evening occupied, it's kind of, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss on other things. I can get little things done, but the big things are a challenge. Oh, and this is, I saw this, I think Brenda or Laura got this done. The Maker and the Mender. Yeah. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And this, I know that there was a problem with this, and I can't remember what it was, but I was doing all of these in on one piece of paper. Okay, I really do need a break, I think, on one piece of fabric. So all of these were going on one piece of fabric. Oh, shoot. Oh, mama. So there we go. And I think somewhere, I don't know where, but I have this memory of being off count somewhere. And so, yeah, I'll have to figure that out. Jane Austen. Bad printer. Jane Austen was not a bad printer. I needed ink. Oh man, is this pathetic or what? This shouldn't even count as a start. What the heck? This shouldn't even count as a start. Okay, we have the lemon, the hashtag fruit salad Sal. Yep. There's always room. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is Maximum Cross Stitch, Ellen. There's always room at the table, and this is actually going to be going up on my cross stitch wall. I absolutely love this stitch. is it possible to change from being a cereal starter? This is a question for Laura. Can you go from being a cereal starter to being a monogamous stitcher? Now, I've heard of the reverse. So, from the Fat Quarter Shop, Christmas Rules. This is a Primrose Cottage stitch. And this one is moving along nicely. Halloween. This is the Halloween calendar. I'm not going to bring that chart out, but you've seen this recently. So I have like about 3 different Halloween starts. Oh, mama. That is not a start. Ooh, oh, I love that. I love that. That's not a start. I think that's it. Except for, you know what? The trees! Look at how this pathetic, this poor pattern is. And the trees. This can't even fit in the frame of the entire. Oh, the trees. This may be my designated stitch for myself if I ever get to that point this year. I did have a new start with the Fat Quarter Shop, and that is, I just absolutely love this book, Summer Memories. So this is, you can get this at the Fat Quarter Shop. It's So Emma. And this book has half quilts, half cross stitch. And I absolutely loved the cross stitch. All the little cross stitch smalls. But this one was what I started with, because what's not to love about a hot air balloon? And so there's my start. Isn't it awesome? So sometimes you have to add a start. Even though you have all of these things going on, you have to have a start. And I think that's why I've done this WIP Parade, is that I wanted to really acknowledge what I had going on before I went to Arizona. And I wanted to make conscious decisions there because we know there's going to be haul. And I guess by doing a WIP Parade before a huge event like that, it kind of, you're going into it conscious. You're not unconsciously shopping or, yeah, right. Let's see what happens. So the next floss tube will be after I have returned, and we will see what happens. I'm going to be doing a lot of fangirling, I think, but the interesting part for me will be it's a new world in terms of that a lot of the people that go to this are really committed sampler, reproduction sampler stitchers, and they have a lot of knowledge about this, and I'm kind of like a smorgasbord cross stitcher, so it'll be interesting to see and to understand all that goes on in our cross stitching world, because that is the best part of it, is that there's truly something for everyone, but it's good. It's kind of like anything in the world, religion, politics, whatever. You don't just want to have your little horse blinders on and not see, oh, look, there's horses running free over there while I'm trudging down the road pulling a wagon full of people. So it's good to see those the variety. And that's one of the things, probably why I have so much going on, is like I like to sample it all. I like to enjoy it all. I have been totally engrossed. I have 2 or 3 books downloaded so that I can be listening while I travel. But the book that I'm listening to right now is like, oh, it's like the best book of the day. You know, I have to say that because it seems like every book I read, I'm going, oh, this is like the best book. But this is Jojo Moyes' latest book, and I just want to get that title right. It's Someone Else's Shoes. Definitely worth a read. It opens your mind. It's not it's a fiction book. It's a fiction book, but it really makes you think. And it's one of those books that I need to run an hour errand in the car. Sure, I'll do it, because then I can listen to the book, so I would recommend that book. Okay, wish me luck. I'm really looking forward to this, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. I hope you're all doing well. I hope your stitching life is still engaging your soul. If you are on the side of the world that spring and summer have sprung, it is fantastic. If you're on the other side of the world where you're starting to hunker down, you're going to get a lot of cross stitch done. Take care. Love you guys, and hope all is well in